Take a Look, the only place where world leaders are under siege, CIA operatives go rogue, and two best friends take a life-changing road trip, all before lunchtime.
If you want to live, you'll follow my lead.
She's saving the world one summit at a time. G20, a high-stakes thriller from Prime Video. We're sitting down with the unstoppable Oscar winner Viola Davis. She's the president, Anthony Anderson by her side.
I want to find and kill the people who murdered my wife.
From espionage to emotion, The Amateur, the gritty new CIA drama. We've got its star, the always intense, the always compelling Oscar winner Rami Malek. And why not continue to Oscar it up with Oscar winner Laurence Fishburne by his side?
I'm phasing him out.
Why?
He's a grown man who hides in trees.
Take a deep breath, hit the open road, and laugh through your existential crisis. Sacramento is here. Cera and Michael Angarano, who also directed, they're with us to talk about friendship, filmmaking, and Kristen Stewart in this quirky, sweet road trip to the California state capitol.
I thought you were heading towards saying something reassuring. Yeah, me too.
World crisis, covert missions, emotional detours, whatever your mood, today's show's got the movie and its star. Let's take a look! I can't believe that. This Take a Look, so star-studded, so packed with stuff on the big screen and small screen, the open alone ate up almost all of our half hour. Well, that's the time. Thanks for coming. No, we have a big show today. Look, Minecraft just broke box office records, the highest-grossing movie adaptation of a video game of all time. So, preaching to the choir, because you probably all have seen that, let's talk about new stuff. It's my new friend to talk about new movie stuff with. It's Kelly Savannah Deaton.
How are you?
You're not my new friend. You're my new movie friend. So, new movies headed to the box office. Where do we start?
G20.
No kidding. I love this movie so much, and, you know, on paper, this movie could have been horrible. Once you get Academy Award winner Viola Davis in it, Anthony Anderson, Emmy winner.
Ramon Rodriguez,
you know you got a full show. So let's get right to it. I sat down with the aforementioned President of the United States, played by Viola Davis, and Anthony Anderson to talk about it. Take a look. See you two.
Yeah. Good seeing you.
There were some distractions in the hallway, and as he was coming in, he had to stop and say, "If you'll excuse me, I got to go to work with the president right now." So I'll ask you, how was it every day on set, going to work with the president?
It was amazing. It was amazing to work with Madam President, but I like to call her my wife. But you know what really stood out to me was that years prior to us even working on this, you can correct me if I'm wrong, when you got the script, I like to say she demanded me as her husband, but she asked for me to play opposite her in this film. And so hearing that, I knew I had to show up and show out for this woman who would not let me call her Viola or Miss Davis. I had to call her EGOT every day.
I demanded it.
But just for me.
He slipped a couple of times.
Did things get taken from craft services from you?
Yep, absolutely.
But it sounds like the kind of demands and authority befitting of a president, don't you think?
No, and no better person to play the president, yes.
I've got to say, there is no movie that I have seen, and audiences will see this when they see it. You bring such authority and humanity to this. And I was going to say, I'd love for you to run, but your director told me that she mentioned that early on in production, you said, who would ever want to be president?
Yeah, who wants that job? Not me.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, you know, and juggling the motherhood on top of that.
Sure.
I just, you know, even in the movie, it was constant negotiating playing this role. Because, you know, it's not a character when you're playing the president that you could say what you want to say, do what you want to do, that the audience has to see that woman that they elected as president, that decision maker, that person who would jump through the plate of glass first. And so it was constantly negotiating that with the heart, with the fear, with the mamahood, you know, and that was a challenge.
You know, it's a great representation, and so there's so many people waiting to have their moment of power, especially young women. What do you hope they take away, seeing you in this role?
That they're capable. When you feel capable, you make people believe that you're capable, and then all of a sudden, that's when change happens. But the thing that you have to do before that, the journey is like busting out of all the definitions that people have put on you in the world. That you don't have to subscribe to them. you know, and I think that's it. But it's taken me a lifetime, I'm not going to say how many years, to do that, to be able to do that.
And it's such a great representation. And on top of that, it's a lot of fun, too. I can't wait for people to see it. They're going to demand more. So are we thinking G20, a second term?
Yeah, baby.
Nice to see you.
You too.
Good to see you, Mark.
Hey, G20, look at that. I'm already titling the sequel. There should be. I love their relationship in this, and then especially the action that she truly brings.
Yes, and she has my vote, by the way. What a speech. We
Yeah,
should
no kidding. Women's empowerment.
elect
No
her
kidding.
right now. But also, she trained so much for this movie. I think something has to be said about that. At age 58, she did the tactical training, the jujitsu, the close quarter choreography, fight style, and everything.
You actually see her training in the movie
Yes.
alongside who?
Ramon Rodriguez. Whoa, wait a
Sorry.
minute. Where did you just pull
Ramon
that
Rodriguez,
from?
who also plays Will Trent.
Hang on, go back. Where did you just pull that from?
I'm a huge fan. Like playing
You just
cards, I
carry
just carry this
around?
around with me anywhere.
Okay.
Just in case. No, he is Will Trent on ABC television. He is a great leading man, but in this plays a great subordinate guy, and that's why the ancillary cast of this movie are equally as great.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, we talked about the training and being prepared and Viola Davis and all the rest. Take a look. You know, if you look at your storied career, your characters have all been through a lot. There's little you haven't done. However, this movie pushes it even further.
It does. I mean, there's a lot of action. And it's something that I think, you know, drew me to it early on. Was like, okay, this could be kind of a throwback, fun action film. And so I knew that going into it, knew I was going to require some training. And that was, I love that stuff, man. I enjoy being able to get physical and learn some new skills, and I got to learn some alongside Viola, that's kind of how we started our relationship. We first met was training. We were learning jujitsu together and doing some hand-to-hand combat. And I don't think anything can get you to bond quicker than having to roll on a mat together.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Trying to figure out some jujitsu moves.
If you want to be alongside someone that you need to have trust with.
That's right.
Because your characters trust each other implicitly.
Correct.
So having trained with Viola in that way, they probably leaned into it.
It was a great way to just develop that rapport and, like you said, that trust. And I wanted to ensure and make her feel like I had her back at all times. I was her ride or die. And that's who Manny is. You know, we see the lengths of what he's willing to go to. I kind of laugh because he just kept coming back. He just was not gonna give up doing his job, and it's very admirable and honorable, and I kind of love that quality. I love those qualities about him.
Manny is a ride or die. We all need some Mannies in our
We
life.
do. And it's so hard to go toe-to-toe with someone like Viola Davis, acting-wise, and he knocked it out of the park.
I hope I don't plot spoil, but you do think, ride or die, you think he's gone, and then he keeps popping up like whack-a-mole. You
Secret
hit Manny
Service.
here, he pops up over here. Remember, also known as Will Trent on ABC television.
You're going to carry that around for life, aren't you?
I really do. I'm going to put it on eBay a little bit later on to put a
there
kid
you
through
go.
college. All right, so that movie is amazing. See that movie because?
Because the cast is exceptional, and who doesn't like a badassery woman like that takes names, kicks butt,
Exactly.
does the thing.
I couldn't have said it better without getting in trouble. Equally good is the next movie. Another Academy Award winner. We're talking about Rami Malek, and another Academy Award winner by his side, Laurence Fishburne. We talk about the instant classic that is The Amateur. Next. Hey, welcome back. It is Take a Look. My name is Mark S. Allen. This is Kelly Savannah Deaton.
Hi.
On Instagram, known as
Kelly Savannah Deaton.
I'm at TV Mark S. Allen. Hey, shout out to the people serving the United
Yes.
States all over the world in 177 different countries and territories worldwide on AFN. Shout out, troops. We thank you.
We very much thank you.
All right, speaking of all over the world, this next movie takes you all over the world.
Yes, we've got Paris, London, Turkey, The Amateur.
It's so amazing. It's a remake of a 1971 film, and so many people have kind of forgotten that film. I'm glad that they brought it back.
I didn't even know there was a...
That's what I'm saying. For young millennials and Gen X, it's a brand new movie. For me, I remember the original. This one's better. I mean it in every way, largely because of the charm of not only Rami Malek, but oddly, chemistry between he and someone who technically he's not supposed to have chemistry with, Laurence Fishburne.
I know, and I love that. He's the mentor for Rami Malek's character,
Yeah.
but he teaches him. They both teach each other towards the end of the film, and I love that aspect.
Had a great time sitting down with him. Take a look.
Exactly the Don't let me interrupt.
Hi. You love this.
Nice
This
to
is
see
no,
you.
no. Nice to see you.
Look
How
at
you
you
been?
today. I am doing good. Good to see you,
baby. You too. You
Thank
too.
you.
It is so good to see the two of you together, which means we've got to have sequels.
Oh.
Not to give anything away, but if there was a chance for a sequel or a prequel.
From your lips to the man upstairs' ears.
I like that. Prequel even.
Prequel is very nice.
Yeah,
That's good.
Having thought that through, that probably would be possible. But back to the sequel thing. Let's make this happen.
Anything is possible. Well, I mean, yes.
Right.
In
So-
today's world, go on.
I walk in and you two are having a lovely conversation. You must have gotten on well on the set as well.
Yeah, we did.
Before, during, after.
Yeah, we met years and years ago, and we fell in love with each other, and we wanted to work together, and here it is.
Here it is.
In your amazing career, you've pretty much done it all. But now there's one new thing that you've added. So talk about how this is a unique experience for you.
You have to help me.
Yeah, it's funny. I was
lost
leaning
me.
on you.
I will say this: working with Laurence in every take is unique. He's surprising. There are moments where that slap in the face feels incredibly real.
I was going to get to that slap in the face and how real was that? And did you say, look, don't hold back, bring it? And then did you have to say, don't bring it quite as much?
It's the sweet touch of that only a pro can handle
Just
with such
a little
elegance.
Goldilocks there, just
Yeah.
right. Little Goldilocks.
Just a little brush.
It had just enough on it.
Just enough pepper.
Just enough pepper. Maybe get a little water going behind the eyes, but not to let any tears drop.
Exactly.
Such a special dynamic, and I love the dynamic that they have in
Yes.
person. Such nice people.
He was nice to you even after that little rude comment you made,
Which one?
where you said there should be a prequel that would cut his character out completely. What's wrong with you?
The minute I said, hey, this would be a great prequel, which would mean Rami would not
Just
be in it
digging
at
yourself
all.
deeper.
Anyway, they were nice. And this movie is great largely because of them, but it's not just because of them.
Because of the powerful women, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Rachel
Coming
and
up.
Katrina.
Yeah, exactly. Rachel and Katrina. We're talking the star of Outlander, the star of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. They make this movie what it is, too. They join us next. Hey, welcome back. It is Take a Look. Thank you so much for watching. If by chance you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to what?
Like
and
subscribe.
Thank you. All right, we're in the middle of talking about The Amateur. I hope during the commercial break you already bought your tickets. Regardless, see it on the biggest screen possible.
You must.
Especially IMAX, right?
Yes, 100%. You can get the whole thematic experience.
Yeah, take a look at The Amateur. It's so amazing, and it is international, like you said earlier, going to Paris, going to Rome. But the real secret weapon in this, not Laurence Fishburne, not Rami Malek, but back here to our show and tell, it would be Outlander star Katrina. She crushes it in this movie.
Yep, and Rachel from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah, several-time Emmy Award winner. I talked to both of them. Look. Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
You know, I say this in interviews all the time, but I mean it so much so now. It's so great to see you. You're better now than the last time I saw you, which was in this movie. Tremendous
True. We're both doing better.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're doing so much better, both of you. So let's dive into it. These roles for you, you've played iconic roles before, whether it's Midge. You know, this role, however, it seems like you can invent so much of it. It's not all on the page.
Yeah, well, Rami and I had the opportunity to invent this relationship together. There's a little bit of a roadmap. This project was based off of a book. But we had the great joy of getting to jump on FaceTime and spend some time just deciding what the most impactful version of this relationship would look like, because there's not a ton of real estate to get the audience invested in Heller's journey. You have to feel what this relationship meant to him in order to be on his side through this kind of morally ambiguous quest for, you know, revenge, justice. Yeah.
If the audience doesn't believe the relationship, then you don't have a movie. Like the
Yeah.
organic core of it starts there. And then for you, arduous task trying to prepare questions for 3 words can ruin the whole movie.
I know.
How would you describe this character?
Well, she's kind of a solitary figure. You know, what I really liked about Inquiline was here was somebody who has experienced a lot of loss, but has found a way, even though she's retreated from life, to kind of do something really heroic, which is this sort of quest of exposing corruption And, you know, when Heller and her meet, obviously they've had somewhat of a working relationship, but this is a very, you know, it was great to sort of fill in her backstory and her life and be able to have them meet on a place where they had this new level of understanding, which was this kind of emotional place of loss.
And then much of the movie, Rami's out there fighting for your honor. So often you'll do a project and you probably are really self-conscious about seeing yourself. Much of this movie takes place out of your character's experience. Yeah. Are you able to enjoy it like an audience? And get swept up?
It was the first project, this is insane, but it was the first project that I'm in that I'd seen in almost like 8 years or so the other night.
Why?
I don't watch my stuff.
Oh, wow.
But that actually made it such a great joy. It's really, I struggle with it because you're sort of going, well, I want to see what everybody else did. And so many people put so much hard work into this. And so, yes, it was, this one made it a little bit easier without giving too much away.
Amen. And I've got to say, just in terms of like a partner in life, you give the best gifts to your spouse ever.
Thank you very much.
Congrats, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, in case you wonder what that gift was, I don't think I'm plot spoiling a major plot point, but she's Rami Malek's wife, and in a way, she gives him a 1947 Cessna taildragger, which is the plane that I trained in.
Oh, really?
That's a true story.
Connections.
Or exactly. Maybe I related to wrapped around it. I'm getting hung up on one little thing about the movie. The rest of the movie is amazing.
Yes.
I say go see Amateur, and if I haven't said it already, see it on an IMAX screen or the biggest digital screen possible.
Definitely. And you'll see Rami Malek lead an action movie where he's the action star, and it's incredible and unique, and we haven't seen this really before.
There you go. So that concludes the big movie portion. Now let's talk about an independent film that also made its way into theaters.
Yes.
Shot in the California capital. Sacramento is the name of the movie and the setting for this film with Michael Cera. It is awesome, and we'll tell you why with the stars next. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us on Take a Look, a show that's about things that are on the screen that you're watching right now or perhaps at a movie theater. Up now, an independent film that should be straight to streaming, but it's in theaters, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. We need more road trip buddy comedies. What do you mean? We should have more of them in theaters.
Exactly. I think road trip comedies are better when shown in a big way like this. In
100%.
this, these guys take a road trip from their hometown, Los Angeles, California. Frankly, I think that part was Burbank, all the way up to the California state capital of Sacramento. And I think the opening line of the trailer says kind of how the attitude is. Great. A long road trip to a place I've never wanted to go.
Exactly.
However, I would say it's truly poignant and such a nice movie.
It is, and it says a lot about friendship and loyalty and how our lives change, and sometimes we can just buckle our seatbelts and put on our helmets. There's nothing we can do but enjoy the ride, just like this movie.
Exactly. I talked with star Michael Cera and the writer, producer, director of this,
full
Michael
service.
Angarano, about the journey, and also because I used to spend time in the stomping ground about the city itself. Take a look.
Look at that. Is that?
Yeah.
That's a real background.
That's the real deal. I was just so
nice.
inspired that I took the road trip from LA to Sacramento just to visit,
Nice.
the
Not many
scattered
people can do this
ashes of
with their
your father.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the
that's
lake.
it.
Or the river. Yeah.
Everybody's going to love this movie. It is poignant. It is quirky. It is relentlessly endearing. Everybody wants to know, Michael, why Sacramento?
And the truth, the honest to God truth, is that Chris Smith and I were driving around in LA one day, and we were unemployed. We just did a pilot that didn't get picked up that we acted in, and so we had nothing to do. And we saw a sign that said 5 North Sacramento, and the scene in the film, hey, you want to go to Sacramento? Sure, let's go on a long drive to a city I know nothing about. Is basically the impetus and conceit of this film. So initially, the reason for Sacramento was pretty arbitrary, and then when we started to make it, people would ask us that question, and I was always like, it just has to be Sacramento. It couldn't have been anything else. It could have been, but it would have changed the whole texture of everything.
Yeah, if you need to do a sequel, Fresno, maybe, perhaps.
Fresno, there, right.
Little series.
So, Michael C., you took the bait, both in the movie and I guess in real life by agreeing to do this movie. You came to town. What was your experience like making this movie? You've made a movie on every different level. This had to be a unique venture for you.
It was great. I mean, I found it irresistible, the idea of making this movie with Mike and, just getting to do this with a friend and do such a personal story and a script that I really loved. It was too good to turn down.
Now that we talked about the city, the takeaway is infinitely greater. There's something like on the level of Sideways or Real Pain, only this is its own special thing. Michael, hey, what do you hope people take home?
Honestly, I can't control what people take home. It's obviously very personal, not only for me, but everybody who made it. Everybody has some personal investment in it, but we just had so much fun making it, and if that is able to translate to a viewer, I feel like, that's worth it. All I could really ask for.
Congratulations, both of you. I've been interviewing both of you your entire film and television careers, and what a great honor to see you do this.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for your time. Cheers.
Thanks.
Yeah, cheers.
I'm scared, really scared.
Life is crazy, and there's a lot you can't control.
But
what?
I thought you were heading towards saying something reassuring. Yeah, me too.
I love that. And the whole reason I was up at that bridge, a climactic moment happens in the movie right there. And also, trivia, a lot of the LA scenes were also shot up there in Sacramento.
I didn't know you could do that.
No offense, but representing some dumpier parts of LA.
I agree. And also, I love that you brought up A Real Pain, and that's very similar to this movie, whereas that movie, A Real Pain, is about accepting grief and trauma, whereas this one's about fatherhood and coming of age.
It's so true.
It's so
and
true.
written during a time they started having kids in real life.
I love
all right,
that.
check out all the movies and check us out. Be sure and like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yep.
And I got to get a beverage. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Right on, you.